So we are back and we're going to get straight to it. We're not going to waste any time. What I have shown on your screen is our old CCP. And this is a fully completed CCP. If you've seen the first part of this video, I kind of introduced it to you real quick. You want to watch that video real quick if you have not. Part one of introducing Capital Atlas. This right here, I'm going to go real fast like I always do, go real super fast. So this is a fully completed CCP. I wanted to kind of just complete it for you so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Because, earlier when I was talking about it, I didn't have it fully dressed up and completed for you. So, and again, YouTube, these are not real client information. This data is just made up data. So, I wanted to show you. I didn't want to kind of have it with all blurred up and everything like that. So this is why we do the credit eval. This is from a credit report where we evaluate the client's file and we determine what the person qualifies for. This is the open revolving accounts. They're all the way on top right here. And as you can see, and going back to jogging your memory, what are the matrix? What are the four factors we look for credit-based lending? Derogatories, utilization, age of file, and inquiries, which is the last factor. So now, moving on right here, these are derogatory items. He has, this specific person in our example right here had none. If they did have some, we'll put the collections right here. If he had a collection or something like that, will be right there. Right here is all their inquiries. Okay. Right here is their age of file. As you can see, it's calculated 17-year age of file, which is the oldest item reporting on their client's credit profile. Right on the bottom right here, this is going to be all the closed revolving accounts. And then right here are the open non-revolving accounts. You can see nice and clean right there, ready for you in order for you to evaluate credit-based funding options for that specific borrower. Credit scores and everything are going to be here on the right side. As you can see, all the way down to what the projection. This is the old way that I used to do things. Let me move my face out the way so you can see this. This is where I'm at. This is the credit score, as I just mentioned. And this is the old way where I used to have a point system in order to help my system determine what the client qualifies for. This borrower, as you can see, that's what the borrower qualifies for right there. Now, the tabs on the bottom. Let me go ahead and jog you guys' memory on the tabs on the bottom. The tabs on the bottom, of course, you had this one that evaluated credit-based funding. Then you had this one that evaluated revenue-based funding. On this section, we had, of course, the clients, the month of the business bank statements, and we had all the information right here as it pertains to, what bank statement it is, what month, all the monthly deposits, total average bank balance, number of deposits, number of NSFs, everything right there to give you a nice snapshot. And you could actually review the real data if you wanted to, because we had a folder. We created a folder for every single client, and that folder held in there everything. I had it very nicely organized. This is my folder organization structure right here. So this will be the CCP. Every single client had a CCP. And if you go to the credit report, you have the credit report right in there. If you go to the bank statement section, you have the bank statements right there. Tax returns, everything was nice, neatly organized. Okay, it was beautiful. It was nice. It worked. Okay, it was a system that worked. When we start processing the applications, each time based on which product we're processing, we would save all the documents right in there, as well as logging into the client credit profile. Going back right here, I'll just go ahead and show you where we logged it in at. It was this amazing document that grew with the client. Next right here, whenever they completed the application, when we're ready to submit the application, then we would go ahead and prepare this document. And this document basically had the business information, had the personal information, had everything right in there, okay? And this, again, clearly, if you think about it, this had to be prepared manually by our processor. And the processor would prepare all this information, send it to the clients. When we were logging in applications for the client, this is where we're logging in at the apps that were submitted and kind of track them. This is the application report, if you want to call it. This is what the client received that told them exactly what applications were being submitted. So the CCP, in essence, took care of the evaluation stage, which is the first part, okay, which is evaluating and determining what the client qualifies for. That's the first part. The second part is it took care of the compliance stage. That's the recap report, having all the information on there as to what we're going to be submitting to the clients and all the details that are necessary. And it also took care of the application stage. This is the internal application processing where we track the application internally. And then also we would send the client an application report. There's a difference between the two on why, the information is different. The client just needs to know the lender, the date it was submitted, the current status, reference number, approval number, and the contact information, while the internal report took care of a few things, which inquiry was pulled, who the underwriter was, and a few other different things when it comes to appeals. So that's basically what it was. Now, This is where the issue comes in. The issue comes in as to this thing was not scalable. I started recruiting a lot of students. I started having a lot of clients, and traffic jam, huge traffic jam. It became too long for the clients, number one, to determine exactly what the client qualified for. And it became too long of a process to determine which lending product will fit that client's specific needs. And I was like, man, I had to start scratching my head. Brian, this is not going to work. It's not going to work for you. If you're thinking about scaling your business, it was fine whenever you were just a one-man show, but it's definitely not going to work for you moving forward, okay? You need to develop something for your clients for you to be able to, number one, solve this scalability issue. Number two, we're in 2026. You cannot be using these spreadsheets the way you used to. Okay, it's just not going to work the way you used to anymore. So, without further ado, drum roll, please. I'm going to introduce you to what I have built, and this system is amazing. It solves every single one of those problems that we had on there. I've been working on this for so long. Literally, every single thing that I've talked about, I'm bringing Pennington Consulting Group. I'm bringing the 3 paths of lending. I'm bringing everything that I've talked about to the new age, and I'm going to introduce to you the new client credit profile. YouTube, I want you to know I created this specifically for this YouTube video, so all the information that you're on here is not accurate at all. This is just simple client data, but I'm going to introduce you to you, man. We're using the system. This is an amazing system called Airtable that basically, literally does everything. It's really amazing. So I'm going to introduce you to it. And number one, there's so many things on here that I'm going to be really quick. So this video is going to be me introducing Airtable and the different facets of it and what it replaced from the CCP. The next video, I'm actually going to talk about using the Airtable in real life and how it specifically works. So let's get back to the CCP. I'm going to compare it to how it basically replaced the CCP. The first part of the CCP was what? Doing credit evaluations. How are these being done before? Manually. How? My assistant will grab a client's credit report. They would use the credit report and feed the data into the system based on the 3 paths of lending matrix. The 3 paths of lending matrix being the 4 factors: derogatories, age of file, inquiries, and utilization will be fed into this system, and that system will manually, and then they will be sent back to me manually to determine what the client qualifies for. Let's talk about the new process that does that. What we got here is we got 3 different tabs. There's 3 different tabs that's going to be managing. And this is a beautiful thing about the Airtable system that I've built is you now don't have to have one CCP for every single individual client. We have what we call a master CCP that's going to track every single client in your system. Okay, as you can see, these are the different clients and the different, we have in the system. All these are all fake clients, YouTube. So don't test. As you can see, it says test. These are all the different evaluations that we've done for every single one of these clients. And for example, okay, so right now I want to see Brian. The beautiful thing about this, if I want to see Brian's evaluation, the Brian evaluations only, I can add a conditional filter on here. And this conditional filter will allow me to add a condition as to what I want to see. And I only want to see Brian Otieno's evaluation report. I can click that right there and it can get rid of everything. And now I can only see Brian's evaluation report. I can see all the account name. I can see who it's tied to. I can see the account when it was open. I can see the account type. I can see responsibility, the status of the account. It also has a revolving account balance. If it's a revolving account, it's a revolving account limit. If there's a limit, it calculates the utilization automatically, as you can see right there in the system. Okay. Let me make sure you guys can see it all. Okay. Calculates the utilization automatically, captures the high pass balance, captures the monthly payment, captures the number of late payments, captures the ideal balance based on our calculation. Every single thing is captured into this system. Now, the beautiful thing about this is all captured with automation. Okay, this is so amazing. It's not any manual work anymore. It's so beautiful the way that we've built this system and it's so simple the way it works as well. Okay, the way we've done this is we've connected to a CRM. And if you guys remember last year, we moved CRMs from an old system. So of course you guys should be aware that we moved from Infusionsoft to Go High Level, robust system. So what the system is designed to do. Such an amazing, it all works together. This is so beautiful, it's crazy, okay? So I'm gonna introduce you to the different, pipeline stages in Go High Level. Let me just kind of give you that rule. So let me jog your memory on the different pipeline stages and go high level. I expanded on this when, if you watch my trust funnel video, but I'm gonna try to squeeze this in so I protect any sensitive client data. But these are the different stages on Go High Level that we have. These are the different pipeline stages. We have a hot lead. A hot lead is something that is when somebody comes into our system, they're captured by any lead magnet that comes in as a hot lead. Next, we get them to book an appointment. After book an appointment, we get them to complete an application. And then they're going to be ending up on app booked call, app completed section. And they're going to hang around right there, or they're just going to be in booked call, incomplete app. These are going to be two sections that they hang out at. Now, after the call, there's a few things that's going to happen. They're going to end up in at least 3 of these places. Call no-show, which of course they didn't make to the call. Awaiting preliminary docs. That means we're waiting some documents to evaluate the client's file. Or lastly, or next is going to be the evaluation. If we get the necessary documents, which is bank statements, credit report, or an asset list completed, then we move them into evaluation. Evaluation is where we used to do that old school stuff where we would grab the CCP, but now the new school stuff, okay? We're in 2026, finally, okay? We're using this Airtable system that the point that I was trying to make is as soon as they're moved to the evaluation system and you have a credit report in the database that's in the system, this client, the system automatically grabs them. For example, Mr. Brian here. As soon as we put that credit report into the system and we went ahead and put the bank statement into the system and moved this client's file, the opportunity from where it was at into the evaluation stage, Airtable is automatically connected. I can't sit here and tell you exactly how it's connected because that's proprietary information. We've been working hard trying to make sure that happens and how the system kind of flows and everything like that. So, again, we're not going to explain to you how that happens, but I'm going to tell you, show you exactly what happens. What happens is that information is captured with Airtable. As soon as that information is captured with Airtable, Airtable starts going ahead and going to work. And Airtable is going to extract all the information, all the data that is needed in order for us to populate and evaluate the factors that we just talked about. The factors are what? Derogatory items, utilization, age of filed inquiries. It presents them to you right here, nice and neat into the system where you can actually just see it. And the same thing happens also with bank statements. It's amazing. And again, Airtable is a system with all the clients in one place. Okay. So it's really beautiful because it captures all the bank statements. As you can see, we're working with Brian and I can filter it. Right there and I can tell it that, hey, I just want to work with one specific client. I can add a condition with the filter and I can say that I want to work with this one specific borrower. His name is Brian and I want to only see Brian's stuff. You have all the bank statements for Brian are going to be outlined right here and I can actually click the source data and I can actually see exactly, which I don't want to, for sensitive information. You can see exactly where the data comes from. Look at this all in one. Because remember we had all these folders and all this and that stuff. Okay, so Airtable has meshed in all the information as far as the credit evaluation, and it does it with automation. In addition to that, it does the bank statement evaluation, which is the second path, and it does it and it reads the bank statements with automation, okay? And it puts the information on there. In addition, it provides you the source data. It provides you exactly. So if you want to go ahead and verify the details, it's going to provide you that for you. We're going to actually, we're working on having it monitor if there's any kind of NSFs activity. As you can see, any cash advance activities is going to be able to kind of tell us that on there automatically. You can manually verify. All this information is going to be right there. It's really amazing. In addition to that, we also have an asset section that we have the client complete an asset form that is going to be able to allow us to evaluate the assets that are in the system. And again, as I said, I'm super excited about this. What it does as well, because remember, the reason why we're evaluating the credit income, let's stick to the credit income for just a second, is I wanted to go ahead and give me an approval amount, okay? And what the system does, as you can see up top right here, if I can just introduce this to you, it has a section called Opportunity Summary. Let me kind of just give you, let me move my face out the way and introduce to you all the different tabs in Airtable, this master client credit profile that we've built, that we've connected it to our CRM, that it's an internal processing tool is basically what Airtable is. And that's how we've created it. It does so much with automation. So we're going to focus and focus on Brian and Brian alone. Let's just look at Brian and just really see what this thing has done with automation instantly. Okay. What did we do? We loaded up Brian's credit report and we loaded up Brian's let me put my face on here so you guys can see. We provided the system with Brian's credit report, and we provided the system with Brian's bank statements. Remember? And where did we provide that information at? We provided that information on the Go High level or CRM. And we provided the credit report and the bank statements. And what did we do? We went ahead and moved Brian from the current stage he was in into the evaluation stage. That's what happened. And what did Airtable do? Airtable was like, let me get to work. Let me go ahead and start reading that credit report. And Airtable went ahead and read the credit report. And it's not just going to read the credit report, okay? Because remember, we're reading the credit report to determine what Brian qualifies for. Airtable is actually going to also tell you what Brian qualifies for. After reading the client credit report, Airtable is going to recommend Brian qualifies for 46 grand. This evaluation was completed, what date it was completed. It's going to tell you which path it recommends. Look how beautiful this is, okay? Especially for brokers. Just think about this, man. It's going to tell you what path it recommends. It's going down and tell you which product it recommends in that specific path, okay? This is what it did for credit-based funding. It's going to tell you the credit scores, okay? As you can see right there, this is Mr. Brian's credit score, okay? It's going to continue telling you, Brian's current utilization, overall utilization. It's going to tell you his total total balances, his ideal balance, his high pass balance, his age of file, every single thing that we look at, that we were basically gathering in the CCP. It's all done with automation, okay? With automation. To that person that I took the call, there was a prospective student that I took a call with. And I was sharing with her my old CCP. And again, she was a bit disgusted. Like, what? Is that a spreadsheet? Look at me now. Okay. I hope you're still watching my videos. I appreciate you. You definitely did. I guess I want to say spark the desire to build something different for sure. Okay. And this is something that I started working on. I want to say during Thanksgiving and rolling right into the Christmas holiday and just something that we're still building on. But you guys can see what the vision is, okay? We're trying to solve that major problem, that clog, that traffic that we had, by still keeping the same principles we've had here as real business home broker, not glorified referral partners, but making sure we actually look at and underwrite the file before it actually gets to the real lenders. Moving on, okay? So as you can see, all the information is gathered right there. In addition to that, it looks at the revenue. And this second evaluation, the second opportunity, as you can see on the opportunity summary, it's going to do the revenue. And this is the revenue path. It's going to recommend business term loan and merchant cash advance if that client is interested. It's going to tell us the credit report date. I'm not sure why that didn't get extracted. It's also going to tell us the credit scores. One thing that I'm also working on is what it's called a Capital Atlas score. Amazing. You guys, this is something that's kind of we're going to talk about that later. But Capital Atlas score is going to take into account the 3 paths of lending theories and everything. My logic, my lending approach when it comes to everything is going to take into account all of that and put it into a one major score. That's what it's going to take into account. So again, the purpose of this video is for me to introduce this to you. So one thing that I just shared with you is, number one, how it replaced the credit-based funding evaluation that we used to do. Number two, I showed you how it replaced the revenue-based funding that we used to do. I showed you how it replaced how we used to determine what the person qualifies for by utilizing automation. Man, AI is just an amazing thing. How I can basically duplicate what's in my brain. Because I remember when I had my first business partner, shout out to Jason, he always used to tell me that you need to figure out a way to automate this, to scale this, to have it where in order for you to have a successful business, you have to make sure your business can run without you being there. Mic drop. I know. That's it. And I basically disregarded how important this was. You don't have a true business unless your business can run without you, honestly. Okay? And this is something that it was a reality that I had to come into grips with last year. Seriously, when I cannot scale Broker Solutions Academy. Okay? I had to back up, get off the brake for just a second with everything that I was doing. Now I'm at the position where I can come in and really get dangerous again. So anyway, getting back to this, it replaced the credit eval, it replaced the income eval. It replaced how we determine what the person qualifies for. It used automation in order to do that. It also, moving on, what it replaced the client credit, the recap report. The recap report was also replaced. Okay, this thing, again, look how it replaced it. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to navigate through this a master CCP that we've built on Airtable, as you can see here. I'm just telling you guys everything, okay? I know you're not gonna be able to build this thing. It took me like 3 months, okay, to just build this, and it took me over 15 years to come up with all these theories and all this logic. So go ahead, try to build it yourself. If you're one of my competitors, I know you don't have nothing like this, okay? So that's why I'm even offering this to you. If you want us to build you a custom Airtable using my logic, using my systems, that's something that I'm offering as, again, Broker Solutions Academy. You know, going back to our mission statement, this is part of my mission. My job was to offer solutions to brokers. And what I'm putting much emphasis on right now is this. We always put emphasis on getting the client, getting the client, getting the client, getting the client. Okay? But we never put emphasis on what to do when we get the client. Okay? Majority, 99% of brokers out there, what they are doing is submitting it to a bunch of different lenders. And then hopefully we got an offer over here. They don't understand what they're doing. Okay? They don't understand how to listen to the client's loan scenario, how to understand the client's objective, the client's funding needs, and how to match it to a specific product. And what I've done here with this Airtable system and this automation that we've built is I've eliminated the manual process on how to do that and used automation in order to quickly determine. This systems, you know, they use numbers, they use logic. And of course, there's still some human touch. You know, still a human has to come in and do a funding review with the borrower, let them know what to qualify for, which is the next stage of our stages, as you can see here. You know, so, but anyway, it breaks it down so nicely where you can get to that point. Okay, so the next thing that it did is, as far as the recap report, I haven't even showed you guys. As far as replacing the recap report, check this out. Okay, and I want to show you how easy it is to navigate through it. So we're looking at Brian here. So this is the recap report. I can go across and just read the information like this, but that's kind of silly. Well, I can just click it and it can pop up, okay? And it pops up right here, and I got all the information that I need for Brian. Remember this? Remember this crap right here? We're going to throw that out the way, okay? Literally, throw that out the way. Now look at this internal recap report that has all the information on there that was needed in order to process the application. Of course, YouTube, all this information is not real. None of this data is real. This is just information that I put in here for the sake of this video. Look at that information on here. All the business and personal information, just like you have it outlined right here. Had the business information, had the personal information, had the entity information, had the personal identifying information, had the financial section right in the bottom there. Nice and neat. Airtable does the same thing, but it's all web-based, okay? And the beautiful thing about it as well is, as you can see, it also ties in the credit report. This is the credit accounts that it take into account. And you can click each one of them individually and read some more information about it. You guys, come on, man. You guys can't see this. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, now look at this. Look at Amex. You can look at Amex. You can see when it was open, everything that needs to know about it, who's the account owner, literally everything. And it's all done through automation. It's kind of scary what automation does. Look at the bank statements. Look at the bank statements. And I can, like I said, I can click on it, look at the actual information that I need. It's all right there, okay? Even the asset information. We're going to get into assets because, again, I'm putting much emphasis on credit and revenue path and how we evaluate that. But we're going to get to asset here in just a second. But just look at this. And when we start submitting applications, this is where you log in the applications when we submit them. Look how simple this is. So if we were to submit to Bank of America, okay? We're going to go ahead and say Brian was approved, okay? We're going to go ahead and put in, and I want to kind of reflect on the past before. This is what we had to do in the past. I had to log him in right here, and then once I log him in right here, they came up right here, and I would have to send this to Mr. Brian. Now, okay, I just have to log him in right there. And then once I log him in right there, the client actually has their own interface into this system where they can see exactly what's going on. It's really amazing what we built here. It's really, really amazing. Okay, we're going to put in the reference number. Okay, we're going to put let's just say Brian was approved for $30,000, $300,000. Okay, whatever underwriter's notes, whatever special documents. And this is a beautiful part about this. Okay, we used to before, when we submit a client's application, we would save all the information about that specific application right in the specific client folder, as you can see here. Okay. Now, again, this was all per client. Every client had a folder. Every client had a CCP. Every client had an individual CRM profile. It was all. Now, it's so amazing the way this works is I can literally screenshot the details of the approval. Let's just say I'm going to go ahead and screenshot something right here. This is an example approval. Okay. So this is just a screenshot of the screen, as you can see here. I'm just going ahead and write approval. So let's just assume This is an approval that we received. I can screenshot this and I can literally drop it in here, copy and paste it, and I can just mark it down as the approval. Y'all seeing this? And it's quickly uploaded. It's right there. This is Brian speaking. Like I always say, as I wrap this up, I help business loan brokers and referral partners understand and simplify the various funding products that are available in the marketplace so they can properly serve their clients and stop the endless confusion and self-defeating pointless rat race they're currently in and grow their business while maximizing profit by teaching them how to become a real business loan broker, not just a glorified referral partner. So hopefully you guys appreciate this, appreciate all the different changes. This took a lot. This was not easy to build this where it's at right there. But again, I've seen it, how it works. On my next video, I'm going to drop down exactly how I'm using it in real life and expand on how impactful this is going to be moving forward for the loan industry, and also discuss how we're doing the asset-based funding, how we're doing the asset evaluations. Because, of course, you've seen me do the credit-based evals to determine what to qualify for credit-based funding. You have not seen me do you've seen me do the revenue-based evals to see me how to qualify for revenue-based funding, but you have not seen me do the asset-based evaluations, which I'm going to introduce that on our next video. But appreciate it. You have a good rest of your day. Peace out.